guys, my name is Briana. I'm the new face. I have a special guest with me here today. She will be tuning in shortly. Her name is Joana Metrass. She is one of the actresses from the new movie called We Die Young. Introduce yourself, John, and tell us a little bit about your background and what projects you're currently working on.
Hi everyone, how are you? Well, my name is Joana Metrass. I'm an actress from Portugal, but I have like huge mix on my heritage and French, Italian, Jewish, Argentinian, Chinese, Cape Verdean. It's crazy. My family's from all over. I'm a little bit Portuguese. But I grew up there most of my life and worked most of my life there as an actress. Then I lived in London, did a few projects like the Guy Ritchie film The Man from U.N.C.L.E. with Henry Cavill. Then I moved to the US and I did the TV show Once Upon a Time, played Queen Guinevere on season 5. And now I'm in a film called We Die Young. It's in theaters now all across the US and on demand, in all platforms where you can do on demand. It's called We Die Young with Jean-Claude Van Damme, about the youth in the MS-13 gangs and PTSD and war veterans, which I think are two very important subjects.
Yes, I did. I did get the opportunity to watch the trailer on that, and I saw you on that show. But I was going to ask you because I saw that you have currently you have a long list of international movies. So can you tell us a little bit about how what obstacles you had, if any, transitioning from the Latin screen over to the American screen? Because most of your early films were the Latin screen. So do you have any obstacles?
Well, the accent can be definitely an obstacle. I prefer focusing on the times that it's exactly because I have an accent and I'm able to work with multiple different Latin accents that that helps me with my parts. But that's just a matter of looking at the glass full instead of the glass empty, because the reality, there's a ton of auditions. Let's say if there are 20 auditions in 1 week for someone that looks like me and has my age, maybe one of those 20 will allow an accent. So that really changes a lot. And yeah, the acting is different actually in North America than in Latin countries, like the way you act. For example, in Latin productions, they like a lot more facial expressions and physical movement than they do in North American ones. So it's a bit of an adjustment to all that.
Okay, I totally understand that. I'm actually on the same boat. I have a thick accent. My family is Colombian and Mexican. Yeah. So sometimes with clients, they're like, what do you say? And I speak with my hands a lot and my face is always moving. And I was I'm like, okay. Now Americans are embracing more all of those new Latin and new actors like from overseas and in Latin countries. Do you see more opportunities in your career field right now?
Yeah, definitely it's changing the opportunities for sure. Things are opening up a lot. Not, I mean, in everything like regarding our image and as well like regarding the accent thing, but mostly like regarding image and allowing diversity on screen. That's definitely, well, that's the diversity in general, but also as a woman, you know, that's like more and more interesting roles for women are coming up, no matter where they're from, because before it wasn't a matter of if you're Latin or if you're American, there weren't as many roles for women and women writers writing incredible roles for women, and that's all definitely opening up. That's really good.
What would you say has been the project that you have enjoyed the most thus far?
That's really hard because that's like having a kid and asking to choose a favorite. It's very hard. I mean, just since you said that and I'm answering this, like I'm thinking, okay, but if I have to choose it one, like in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking about it, and I think, oh, this one because of this Noel, no, but then I have to, no, it has to be that, no. Well, what I can say is definitely the projects I love the most, and it's one of the big reasons I'm an actress for. It's projects that have the main intention is not just entertainment, but to bring awareness and to bring voice to causes that need to be heard, or like Once Upon a Time, it might seem like it's just a fantasy show and just entertainment, but it's not. It's actually a very feminist show. It's changing the ways we see fairy tales and princesses just as this weak in a tower waiting to be rescued. It's the first Snow White in history to hold a sword. So I love that. I love being part of that. This film brings awareness to and more empathy. I think it's our mission as artists. If you think about it, it's when you go to the movies or the theater that you actually spend 2 hours just in someone else's story, crying for them, laughing with them. That really expands our levels of empathy as humans. And I think that's our mission as artists, because the world will be a better place. I believe it's what can really change the world, is if we grow more empathy. And for example, this film is about understanding these kids that join the gangs, that they're not necessarily bad kids. They are victim of really complicated circumstances. And who are we to say that if it was with us, if we had grown that way, if it wouldn't happen the same to us, if we wouldn't make the same choices. And I really like that. So the projects, there's a film I did right in the beginning of my career that had some really tough scenes, even like some rape scenes. And I remember before doing that scene, being on the phone with my mom and my mom saying, well, just think about it. If this helps at least one girl out there, it's already worth it. And it has, like, it's been, I think 8-9 years since that film, and I still receive messages and emails about girls that saw those emails, and that really helped them. So
okay, yeah, I think totally, if you can find that connection with the audience, and that's what you guys are trying to do, relate to it. But I have another question for you. What future projects do you wish to be involved with?
I'm sorry, I lost you there for a second. What was the question?
What future projects do you wish to be involved in?
What future projects I wish to be involved in? Well, I love projects with this kind of intention and give voice to causes that I believe in. I love, but I also I love doing period things. I love biographies. I love and I love anything that changes my image a lot, which is something I don't get to do often. A lot of times, one of the things I wanted to be an actress is so I could have my hair completely different. Sometimes sometimes purple, sometimes I have a mohawk, and actually I change my hair less than I would have if I wasn't an actress, because I have to keep a certain image, because it's the image that my headshots have and that it sells. So I love having projects that make me have to create a completely different image, because I love playing with that.
Okay, so how was right now your current movie, We Die Young? How was that interaction with you and actor Jean-Claude?
Yeah, with Jean-Claude. Well, Van Damme he's kind of like a legend. I had worked with a lot of famous actors, but never with one that is considered a legend. So I was really nervous when I first got there. It was for a rehearsal. But then after a little bit, I remember we were sitting across the table with each other, talking to the director, and I looked at him, I was like, he's just a colleague. He's here as me, just because we had to do a lot of research for this film, and the director actually got to be on the streets with an FBI agent, with the gangs, which we didn't get to. Like, we did a lot of research, but we weren't on the ground. So we were trying to get as much information out of the director as possible. And we were both just doing that. And I looked across the table like, he's just a colleague actor trying to do his best.
Correct.
And from then on, everything changed, and we're colleagues, both working towards something, and it was incredible. It was a very challenging experience, both for me and for him. I believe it's a character completely different than everything he has done. That has like this really specific thing that I can't talk about it. You have to watch the movie. But there's a thing about his character that's completely different than anything he has done, and that normally we ever do in a career.
Yes.
And for him was a challenge, and for me, like as an actress, to work with that was a challenge and incredible at this, a challenge in an incredible way, and discovering the depth of the relationship that our characters have, because we had to be able to communicate and be truthful in our communication, and for the audience to see it in a really deep layer where we, it had to be so true. We couldn't hide anything behind words, or, the audience had to look into our eyes and completely believe and understand our relationship, our feelings, everything that was going on. And that was really cool.
Nice. So I know you've been doing the acting career for a little while now. So a few years, actually. So have you ever thought about where you would be at if you were not an actress? What other career pathway? And I know it's probably like an idea right now, like, no, I would never not be an actress. But if you weren't one, what other career pathway would you have taken?
Yeah, I mean, it's a decade now. It's actually 10 years.
You look so young, by the way.
I started. Thank you. And yeah, I've thought about it, because like acting is you have ups and downs, and there's periods to go that you don't have so much work, and you're like, oh my God, what if work never comes again? Because you just never know. And during those times, I panicked and thought about it, of course. And when I thought about it, I panicked even more, because I really, it's not just about what I would be capable of doing. Of course, I would be capable of doing a ton of things. But when I think about, okay, what else could I be happy doing? I really don't know. This is my thing. I'm not even that kind of actress that, oh, I would love to direct one day. I would love to this. No, I really love acting. It's what I love doing. So I thought I would be doing, and I hope I never have to figure it out.
I really don't think you will, because it looks like this new role that you landed, it's a door opener. It opens so many other doors. Now people recognize your name more than before, and it's just crossing over, over from just our culture, Latin culture, into that American culture, and getting your name out there. So I want to ask you one last question. If you could give an advice to any females or young female audience out here, because you're very young yourself. So what advice would that be? What would you tell our young crowd, or a young female crowd?
Well, I think I'll say two things. Well, the first one is the biggest gift my parents gave me was, ever since I was little, and for anyone that didn't hear it when they were little, that's what I would tell them today, but also that's what I'll tell them to tell to their daughters, because it definitely made a difference in who I am and how I got to where I got in whatever I would choose to do, which is, my parents always told me that I was capable and that I could do whatever I wanted. Was never a question. It never even crossed my mind. Like, I grew up with just sisters, and only much later I realized there were girls that, what do you mean you think you can't do that just because you're a girl? Like, it wouldn't even, it was not part of my reality at all, like, it was like, what? Yeah. So it was always, there was never any doubt on if I was intelligent enough, if I was allowed because I was a woman, of anything. So I honestly grew up with this structural feeling that I was capable of doing whatever I wanted, of at least going after it. Then there's always, of course, the life factor, like the luck factor, but never on what was dependent on me. I never felt less than anyone. So I think and no woman is. And so for every, and I like that one, because it's for any job you choose to have. It's for any, not just as an actress. And I think the other one is to know that is in a career, I think it's as important to learn to say no as it is to say yes.
That's a really good one.
That changed things a lot for me, like, I've had offers on things that I said no to. And sometimes it's hard, but they were completely against something I believed. And I feel like a lot of times we get like these fear culture of, oh no, if you say no, then people never call you again, or this, or they're not going to like you, or, you know, of course, learn to say no in a respectful way and be thankful. But if it goes against your values, if it's something you're not comfortable doing, my experience is that you actually end up being more respected for it. And at the end of the day, you, even if you're not more respected, it's about you and you having a clear conscience when you sleep at night. Like, I've had offers on roles that I thought were completely degrading for women, that I was completely against, and I just wouldn't do it. I couldn't give my soul to it. So I think that's important, and important on building a career.
Those are great advices. Thank you very much. And well, guys, this is Miss Joana. She joined us today. If you guys have not had the opportunity to go check out the movie We Are Young, please do so. And Joana, We Die Young. Bad review. No, We Die Young. And please do so, Joana. I look forward to seeing you more on the big screen. I wish you the best, and I do want to thank you for the opportunity here.
No, thank you for having me. I'm so grateful.
Go check out Joana, guys, please.
Thank you. Yeah, the film is We Die Young. It's in theaters in the US and everywhere on demand. And my name is Joana Metrass, and that's my name on all my social media.
Yeah.